Welcome back to Press Review. Let's start by taking a look at today's front pages in the Middle East. Starting from Lebanon, the Daily Star reports that the Lebanese army has vowed to fight on against terrorism to early investigations into the latest suicide bombing that targeted the military near Hermel, which indicated that explosives-laden cars have been rigged in Syria. It also reports that Egypt's interim president Adli Mansour tasked Prime Minister Biblawi with running the government until a new prime minister is selected. The East Gulf News leads its front page today, reporting that the last president of the Soviet Union, Mikhail Gorbachev, said that an honest and open dialogue by the Ukrainian government with its people could have prevented the issues in Kiev from boiling over. It also reports on a new hoax message which has gone viral on WhatsApp, saying that only 530 new WhatsApp accounts are available for smartphone users, and everyone will soon have to pay 37 cents for every message, just days after Facebook bought the app. The Tehran Times reports that Iran and China have signed an agreement finalizing a roadmap to double bilateral trade over the course of 3 years. It also reports that Saudi Arabia is in talks with Pakistan to provide anti-aircraft and anti-tank rockets to Syrian rebels, and that Egypt's ousted President Mohamed Morsi has called on the people of Egypt to continue the protests against the junta government, which he describes as an ally of the Zionist regime of Israel. And from Turkey, the Hurriyet Daily News reports that President Abdullah Gül has expressed his hope that Internet Bill will pass through Parliament with key amendments this week, adding that even if he had vetoed it, the bill would have been passed anyway. It also reports that Turkish Deputy Prime Minister Ali Babakan has urged emerging countries to take measures to strengthen their weak points instead of putting the whole blame on advanced economics for their difficulties. And from Israel, the Jerusalem Post reports that a prison response team shot dead an inmate serving a life sentence for murder after he barricaded himself into a bathroom and opened fire on advancing officers. It also reports that the IDF has mobilized a new division to the border with Syria. And now let's take a look at the top Middle East headlines from UK papers. The Independent leads its Middle East section, reporting that the wife of an Anglo-Iranian citizen who disappeared in Dubai and is feared to have been taken to Iran and murdered has blamed British authorities of putting his life in danger. Abbas Yazdi's wife Atina says it was her understanding that around 20,000 pages of her husband's documents were sent to Iran by the serious fraud office, including the Dubai office address, from where her husband was later abducted. The Daily Telegraph reports that Israeli special forces have raided a prison in central Israel after an inmate stole a gun, shot several guards and barricaded himself inside the compound, killing the notorious prisoner who was serving time for a gruesome murder carried out in the US. Police and the Israel Prison Service have opened investigations into the incident. The Guardian's Middle East section leads reporting that Egypt's interim prime minister has announced the resignation of his cabinet, a surprise move that could be designed in part to pave the way for the nation's military chief to leave his defense minister's post to run for president. It adds that it was not immediately clear whether Biblawi will stay at the helm of a new government or step aside for a new prime minister. Now let's take a look at the top Middle East stories in international papers. From the United States, the Los Angeles Times top Middle East story reports on a well-known Syrian rebel commander who was close to Al-Qaeda's leadership being killed in a suicide bombing linked by some to an Al-Qaeda breakaway group. The slain leader was said to have fought against US forces in Afghanistan and Iraq and reportedly was an acquaintance of top Al-Qaeda leadership, including the late Osama bin Laden and his successor Ayman Zawahiri. China's Daily's top Middle East story reports on Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi speaking in a joint press conference with his Iraqi counterpart Hoshyar Zebari, saying that the UN Security Council Resolution 2139 shows the international community's determination and consensus to relieve Syria's humanitarian situation, adding that he urges all sides in Syria to take the opportunity to ensure the implementation of the resolution and achieve ceasefire as soon as possible. And from Paris, Le Monde headlines its Midi section, Syrie, une résolution humanitaire à l'impact incertain, a humanitarian resolution with an uncertain impact in Syria, stating that beyond the satisfaction of getting a unanimous Security Council vote, the humanitarian resolution on Syria adopted Saturday leaves many skeptical diplomats. The Commission requires the free flow of humanitarian aid through the front lines and borders, but the resolution text is accompanied by no precise case of non-compliance penalties. And for more updates, please visit us on Levant.tv. That was it for today. Thanks for watching. We'll be with you tomorrow for another press review.